One of the key players operating at the Queen Elizabeth II in Sierra Leone, which is the Nectar Sierra Leone bulk terminal, commonly known as the NSBT, has embarked on the expansion of the sea surface. The entity, which is a joint venture company that won a tender issued by government of Sierra Leone way back in 2014 to run the bulk terminal at the port of the Quay. Since it started operations, the company has been functioning in a way that are geared towards meeting international best practices and high standards in all aspects of its operations and has invested hugely in equipment and infrastructure in order to provide the necessary service needed for all areas of the port, said the General Manager, Jane Page.
Our purpose here is in terms of the government's privatization program. They've allowed various companies to tender their abilities to operate various what were formerly government-owned entities and operate them. So we've seen, for example, Belore, who privatized the container terminal. We have privatized the bulk terminal, and we handle commodities such as rice, cement, wheat, flour, sugar, salt. There's a number of commodities which are imported in bulk quantities, or break bulk quantities as we refer to, which are essential for life as we know it on a day-to-day basis.
Jim Page further that Nectar could now boast of having its possessions, new handling equipment, improved warehouse, and effective security apparatus, powerful security line, all in place to offer a better user experience.
Well, I think the thing to remember is that this port was constructed in the early 1950s, and technology in terms of ships has changed in those intervening years. So we've now reached a point where the ships that are current generation are no longer able to berth at, for example, berth 1 here, which is prone to silting and sedimentation from the river. So our thought process was, in order to facilitate the capacity of the port, we would have to construct a new berth which would have deep water, deep draft, to allow us to accommodate larger vessels. Now, the rationale behind larger vessels is that typically the bigger the ship, the lower the freight cost per item. So, for example, a small ship which carries, say, 6,000 tons, the price per commodity might be $10. Whereas when you go to a ship that's capable of carrying 50,000 tons, the price per item might come down to $6. So the ultimate aim is to reduce the cost of importing product, to reduce the price to the man in the street.
With regards its activity, Jim Page noted that Nectar is responsible for all the activities at the port, from the offloading of vessels to storing of cargoes in port warehouse, including maintenance of all terminal equipment. He also noted that the company introduced a new method of handling cargo and invest in new equipment and infrastructure at the port, with the improvement ushered in by the company since 2015, should result into ship discharging more efficiently and faster. It also successfully beefed up security at the port to such an extent that stealing has been drastically minimized.
So the port expansion program has been through a number of iterations. The final design that we've come to has been a little bit of a compromise. We've determined the size of the vessels that we are going to be able to handle in the future, and we've looked at the facilities that we have existing in the port, and we've looked at what we can expand, how we can expand the capacity of those facilities and therefore improve the throughput of the port itself. The current plan, which is the one that is being initiated now, allows us to berth a vessel referred to in the shipping industry as a Panamax. Now that would be a ship that is 225 meters in length and approximately 42 meters in breadth, which by local standards is fairly significant. Initially, NSBT was given, we weren't a concession, we were a terminal operator, and we managed to, in discussion with government, in embarking on our expansion plans, we converted that to a concession. So the granting of the concession and the extension of the time period made for us economic sense to embark on the construction project. Sadly, of course, we've had the issue of COVID-19 the last 2 years, which has certainly hindered commencement of the operation, apart from the other socio-economic impact it's had on the community at large. However, we're in a position now where construction is imminent. As you may have seen on the quayside, we've got our contractor mobilizing, we've got machinery and equipment landing, and construction will, I believe, commence before the end of this month.
He also stated that there are now 2 berths at the quay and expensive warehouse facilities, with the Queen Elizabeth II port now providing bulk and break discharge, warehouse services, quayside banging facilities, and integrated digital terminal management system and a consolidated cargo management. The objective of the Nectar Sealing Bulk Terminal is to increase and ease shipment, competitiveness, viability, and profitability of port facilities, and to attract greater international traffic. For Star TV News, George Elliott Sam reporting.